and we don't want to get tracked by that new GPDR thing where it's like, oh, they've already seen this and that and so forth on that. You know, these all the different things happen with these, like tighten up data policy. If you guys saw what happened with Facebook and that type of thing, you'll know what I'm talking about, yeah. Right, so yeah, cool. So one of the topics then we're going to look into today is that, because some of this is a bit random what we do here in Live Room, for me anyway. I don't necessarily always get in with a plan, because I always have the same thing that I want to do with you guys in the sense of I want to create a certain amount of structure and routine in your trading. Yeah, so if you know step by step what you're doing, it's easier. Yeah, if someone said, like, listen, can you cook a chocolate cake? Can you bake a chocolate cake? For me, I don't eat cakes. I don't bake cakes. And I've got no interest in doing that either. When I cook more savory food. So if you ask me, you know, I can have a bit of an idea based upon experience, you know. Obviously at my age, I should have cooked something by now, right? But at the same time, I don't know exactly. So I'd feel a little bit, I wouldn't say frightened, but confused. And from confusion does come different emotions. Yeah, when you've got clarity, your emotions are a lot more steady. When you have confusion, uncertainty, and these types of things, they're not so much. So if you're looking to get into the markets and your question has to be, where's the market going? You don't know which direction is it going in. That's one thing, isn't it? Yeah. If you're looking at it, you've done your analysis based upon process and procedures that you know works, and you look at it and think, okay, I've got an idea where the market's going. Okay, great. Yeah. So what charts have we got here? For example, I see here dollar yen. I know it's only 15-minute time frame, but you know, if you took, for example, a line, take from the highest point, and just had to pick that line, didn't I? So if I took this one here and I just drew it like this, so that's clearly down, yeah? It's clearly down. So if you guys were doing this, you say, it's clearly on a downward trend. I'm looking for a sell position. Where do I want to sell? What price? Okay. Then you say, okay, well, I want to sell at the highest price, obviously. Yeah. So it's always, you know, sell high, buy low, and vice versa. Yeah. And you'll hear Neil bang on about that all the time. So obviously you want to sell at the highest price, but where is the highest price? You don't know the highest price is until the market's dropped from there. Not while it's up there. The market has to have fallen from the highest price. By the time you know it's the highest price, it's too late for you to get into. Yeah, and we don't have a time machine to go back in time. You know, otherwise life would be a different ball game, wouldn't it? So we've got to go with what we've got and what we know and stuff like that and so forth, right? So here we might say, look, market's on a downtrend. We're looking to sell it. We want to get in at the highest possible price. Where do we think that's going to be? And then you might just, for example, you might say, okay, well, look, here, it dropped from here. There's a high there. And then you might look down and see, well, where else has it done that? It's retraced here, rejected and come down. That there, do you see that? Wick? That there is formed some kind of high. You may even take the 20 moving average. You know, you could take any one of these things. Neither of them is right or wrong. You can use just one, or you can have them all. Yeah? Right. So, and then you could say, I know we haven't looked at news yet, but you could say, okay, look, I'm looking to sell when this thing goes back up to, say, look at this big drop here. You see that big drop? You might say, okay, I want to see it come back to this level here. And when it gets to here, you know, it should be testing the top band. Therefore, I'll be more comfortable selling it there. It's less risk and so forth. Some of you say, I want it up here. I want it up here. Look at what the market's done. Drop. Base. You guys see that? Drop. You know, some might say that's a pennant, or whatever they want to call it, and so forth. It doesn't really matter that much what you want to call it. It's a drop, base, drop. That's supply and demand that we're trading, yeah? Drop, base, drop. All right, so again, this is you having a bit of clarity or certainty when you get in, yeah? So, and I was talking to someone yesterday who's saying something to me. He said, like, about a specific trade, and he's like, yeah, so on this trade, you know, what happens is I was doing X, Y, and Z. I got caught in a situation, and I got a bit stuck, right? And he's like, can you have a look at it and so forth, and give me some kind of explanation for it? And I looked at it, and I said to him, like, oh, to be honest with you, you didn't do anything wrong here. Actually, what you did was correct. Your entry was correct, and so forth. He's like, why did the market do what it did? Yeah, mastering the basics, exactly. Because, well, the market did what it did because the market does what it does. Do you see what I mean? So, do you remember, like, we can only trade a probable outcome. So that probable outcome is only what we believe is going to happen more often than not, right? So more often than not, right, he was trading the Bollinger Bands, and what it is like basically didn't get much movement. You know, the market dropped like a maximum of 7 pips in like, I think it was like a 4 or 5 hour time scale, and it was on gold as well, which is typically quite volatile. And he said, look, the bands have opened up. I took it at the top, sold it down, back down, but look, it just went sideways for a long time, you know, and only closed them out 4 or 5 hours later. And he said, like, you know, what was it I didn't see? What happened? What went wrong? And so forth. And I said, yeah, it's great that you asked the questions. And it is great you asked the questions. And he says, like, he used to work in the bank, so he was telling me, I don't know if he's in the room now. It might be one of these guys that does one initial thing. But he said they write everything down. So what happens? They can revisit if it happens again. What happened there? What was this about? And so forth. And yeah, quite correct to do that. And that's a good idea. What I was saying to him is like, sometimes actually you haven't done anything wrong. It's a bit like it's, you know, it's just like that whole thing whereby, you know, you think about sometimes a good analogy. Sometimes like boxers train for 12 solid weeks on their training camp, do everything correctly, go in, still can lose. One of them's going to lose anyway. So it isn't always necessarily about that. Sometimes you did everything you could do at the point in time, and there's always ways to revisit and so forth. But you know, there is some boxers that 10 out of 10 times you're always going to get the same winner and so forth. Yeah, markets are a bit different than that, so we have some flexibility in it, right? But the point is so on that trade he took a loss, yeah, but he'd been winning for like 3 weeks consistently. But on that trade took a loss, and he's just like, and I'd say to him, look, you know, you didn't do anything wrong, and it isn't always the case you did something wrong, but you got to also understand that nothing is foolproof. So there comes a danger with having 2 or 3 weeks of just consistent winning, yeah, when you know it's changing your mindset slightly to become overconfident, not more confident, but just overconfident, yeah. And overconfidence, it's only because overconfidence tends to flick a few switches of like, can't go wrong. It's like we want to be, I mean, look at yourselves and how you are normally. It's like we want to be more than everybody else many times, better than everybody else many times. So we want to supersede everybody else many times. What they can't do, we can do. I worked on this for this FX company once, doing deliverable FX. Yeah, so I was just working with like finance, CFOs and stuff, you know, financial officers in the company, or whoever made the decision on the money. And I, you know, my job was to speak to these guys and give them market updates, let them know when they want to be moving money around, when's a good time, when is it not, this, that, and the other. I'm not going to be right every single time. No, nobody is. That's why we have certain precautions and things in place to manage and handle our trades should they go wrong. But the point is, it's like, and it was good we had that talk, right? Now, it was interesting talking to him because this guy's an intelligent guy and knows a lot and reads a lot, yeah? But it's something I want you guys to see, yeah? And it's just how we hinder ourselves. And it's sometimes we have to speak to other people to see ourselves as well. We see what they do and we can see it in ourselves, unless we're completely just ignorant to everything and we don't want to view things in that manner. But otherwise, if we're keeping an open mind, we do, yeah? All right, so I've been listening to this audio. Now, I listen to, you guys know me, those that know me know I study a lot, I listen a lot, I read a lot. I watch a lot of videos and educational things and stuff like that. Not just about financial markets, you know, but many, many, many things, right? So it's like when my daughter said to me something about, she was teaching me something that she learned in science, and she's like telling me about a specific hormone. And she's like, well, there's this hormone and what it does. And so I said to her, yeah, that's so-and-so, and this is what it does, and it excretes X, Y, and Z. And she's like, well, how do you know that, right? So I'm not saying that to boast about knowledge or anything. It's just that's what I it's one of my passions, is like studying things and so forth. Now, I've been through a whole load of shit and listened and read a lot of shit. There's a book I'm going to ask you guys, have you guys read this, yeah? And let me know in the chat comments. If anybody here read the book Think and Grow Rich? Yeah, just give me a heads up if you have. Or haven't. Because I know, so you read this book, okay? Yeah, excellent, brilliant. Okay, that's brilliant. That is right. So I know it seems like we're going. I know when you come in live room, we can do live trades, we can do all kinds of stuff in live room. But if you guys were employed by a fund. Anyone here seen the series Billions? Billions? If you should watch that, they got a woman that's a psychiatrist she's employed just to deal with their mindset and psychology and stuff. It's a big thing, right? But you'll fall off. I don't know if it's a good idea. It's almost like saying you fall off the wagon with it, kind of thing, yeah. All right, so Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich, right? Now, what you should know about the book, that it's very good. It's got some real gems. It's very correct. Napoleon Hill says, as a man thinketh, so shall he become. Henry Ford said, whether you think it is or think it isn't, you're right. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right, and so forth. Then The Secret came out. So all this kind of stuff nobody spoke about, but The Secret came out. The Secret exploded. And this company over in, I think, Canada, I think the guy's name's Lacani or something, they marketed the book. Now, when she put that book out, and it was, I'll tell you what, when that thing came out, it was exciting, right? But it didn't take long before people started to say, like, this is shit kind of thing about it, yeah? People had this sort of attitude about, oh, it's not good, it doesn't work, this, that, and the other, so forth, blah, 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 and so forth, right? And why? So why is that? Why would that happen? The only reason why things like that happen is because what people are really saying is it didn't work. It didn't work, and therefore the viewpoint is that it doesn't work. Right? It didn't work, and it doesn't work, and that kind of thing. And people have that whole issue thing going along, yeah. Like anything, so you try something, did it work, didn't it work, expect immediate result, right? Now, The Secret was in some ways vague, in some ways, yeah, not really, but yes, but no, a bit too simple sometimes. So that's the problem with it. The issue sometimes is that, yeah. So who here's heard of Abraham Hicks? Anybody? Abraham Hicks? I don't know if this thing's going to let me write. Yesterday, it just didn't like me writing yesterday. Don't know if you guys remember that. Just kept disappearing. Do you see that? Disappears again. Oh, I tell you. I don't know what it is. If these guys tell me anything about Windows 10, I can't stand Windows 10. Abraham Hicks. Anyone? Abraham Hicks. Anyone? Anyone heard of that name before? Abraham Hicks? No? Okay. So Abraham Hicks is, so this woman, Esther Hicks, right? And there's Till Swan as well. Till Swan is much the same. But Abraham Hicks is all about how they supposedly they channel a spirit, not a spirit called Abraham, but actually it's not one, it's many teachers, right? Loads of them, right? And if you Google Abraham Hicks and listen to them, they show the formula for anything in life that you want to achieve and the success you want to have and so forth. And it's kind of like they left off from The Secret. But if you listen to them, it's always questions as well. They're not just speaking. Typically what it is they're dealing with questions and the person's answering their questions and stuff like that. Now, the thing with Abraham Hicks that I found a bit jarring myself, to be honest with you, was simply the fact that it's almost like there was a certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for, I guess. There's a certain amount of dismissing many things, and there was also a cult following, it seemed. So people that were there seemed to be like a real cult following. So it's like they ask them a question. It's like the way they sort of like bent over for them so much. It's like they just bent over. Just, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, go ahead and anything you want to do with me in that sense, but in their mind. So they would tell them something, and it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. But these things, then you go away and then you deal with yourself. So like we do this live room now, and I can give you all these rules and strategies and stuff, but you go away, you deal with yourself, and there's a certain amount of reverting back. There's a certain amount, your mind is a bit like an elastic in the sense that it can be molded, yes, like clay, but it's elastic in the sense it has like a default setting it seems to come back to, unless you change that, which is a lot of work, right? So I'm not waffling here. I'm going to get to what I want you guys to watch. So there's a guy called Kevin Trudeau. I don't know if you guys have heard of him before, right? And I remember him from way back in the day. Way back in the day when I was like about 20 years ago, yeah? And this guy, because he had this thing on memory and stuff, Trudeau or something, his name, something like that, you know. But anyway, if you listen to this dude, right, he's got this series, audio series. I'm going to send it to you, and you can download the actual audio series if you want. You was listening to him, yeah, Gennady? Which one was you listening to? Which one of his audios was you listening to? The one that I want you guys to listen to, yeah, I'm going to send to you. When I want you to listen to, I'm going to send it to you, yeah. I'm going to WhatsApp it to all of you, yeah. I'll post it in the group, and it's called "Your Wish Is Your Command," right? Now, so I've got the link, so you can have the audio for free, including the workbook as well for it, yeah, on PDF. It's like 14 CDs or something. But what I like about this guy and why I want you guys to listen to it is because he breaks down the secret, scientifically breaks it down. So it's not just spiritually. You know, when someone tells you something spiritually and it's like it's in the ether and so forth, you've got to have a certain amount of faith for that as well, right? And things like that. It's just that he goes into certain explanations. Now, what he will do is go into certain explanations that won't just be about how the secret actually works, because that's what he does. He breaks down the actual secret, how it works, the evidence behind it, and so forth. I mean, do you guys know that everything comes from an atom, yeah? Do you guys know that? Don't know if you guys know this. Atom, you know, there's atoms, right? So everything is made of atoms which form molecules and so forth. The whole universe, anything in the universe, be it this desk, laptop, be it this microphone, be it this phone, whatever it is, right? That's what happens with it. It comes from that, yeah. And that's why you had Adam and Eve, yeah. Atom is the same, right? So that's why his name was Adam. You know, no one wasn't calling anybody Adam back in those biblical times and these kind of names. Do you see what I mean? They were different back then. But anyway. So I'm going to send it to you. When you listen to it, yeah, and you learn exactly how the secret works and little steps that you need to make, and it gives you quite a few steps, it's going to go into a few different things about your energy. But one of the things it's going to go into is diet as well. For example, diet, rituals and stuff like that. So it was so interesting because I thought, it's a different context, but in the sense of what I'm teaching guys that are clients, it's in the same sort of context. It is the same sort of context. It's not actually much different, right? And most things work kind of the same way. So what you want to do is you want to listen to that. I'll send it to you and you listen to it. And the good thing is that when you listen to it, you'll get a lot from it, but also you should get a lot from it from your trading. So here's the thing, you know, when you speak to someone and they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Do you know when someone says that to you, yeah, you got to understand that in that mind, since someone knows what you mean and understand the point. I don't mean they can't understand the point, but they are now at this point cutting you off. Yeah. Which is fine. People do what they do. But just remember, yeah, it's the same thing. If someone's teaching you something and it's like, I've got this, I know what it means and so forth. You're actually cutting them off now and you're saying to yourself, I don't need that anymore. Yeah. Now, when you listen to this, and I know Patrick's heard this. Patrick's in the room. Patrick said to me, I think it was the day before yesterday, Patrick said, well, that guy don't half waffle on a bit. And I was like, he's not waffling. He goes, yeah, mate, he's waffling. I was like, no. He's like, yeah, he's waffled for the first 2 hours. And I get what he's saying by that, right? He's laughing. I get what he's saying by that. But actually, it's not so much that he's waffling, it's the technique that he uses. But here's the thing, right? If I wanted you to remember anything, yeah, just one specific thing I want you to remember. So let's say I said to you guys, listen, remember oil inventories, half free every Wednesday. Yeah, I could tell you that once. Agreed, right? If I told you that once, okay, yeah, I got that, no problem. I could even make a note of it, but yeah, make a mental note, physical note, whatever. Okay, yeah, cool. That's what it is. Okay, great. So it's so you're sitting and you think, oh, okay, I know that now. Move on to the next thing. What's next? And we are sponges at absorbing information. We're sponges, right? We want the next thing straight away. We've heard it once, we know it now, yeah? But actually, it's not true, because if you knew it, you would do it. This is a fact, right? So if you actually knew it, you would actually do it. There's no point saying you know it if you're not doing it. You know, yeah, but I do know it. No, if you knew it, you would do it, right? So it's interesting, like when you listen to him going on and on and on, because what happens is, I don't know what you think, Patrick, but when you get past the first 2 hours, everything that he was saying sticks with you for the rest of the audios. Does that make sense? Anybody? So he's not quite waffling no more, Patrick. It makes sense, doesn't it? It's good, isn't it? The way he does it. And at first, and Patrick probably agreed with this as well, it's a bit jarring at first. At first you listen to it and you think like, go on, mate, hurry up. I don't agree. You're kind of thinking, hurry up, mate, go on. Come on, hurry up. I'm listening here, and you're saying the same thing again and again and again. And even the audio says, like, it's funny as I'm talking in the break time, people will come up and ask me, yeah, mate, we know that stuff. When are you going to get onto the juicy stuff, right? Now, we're going to take it to something else like sport. And I like using sport as an analogy. It's a really good one. The reason why I typically select boxing is because it's something that I've done. So I've never really played football much, you know. But with boxing, I understand that. I can explain that a little bit better. Maybe you can translate it across, right? So what happens is certain things that you do, the same like at the beginning of this audio, it's quite boring. It's like when your trainer's got you in the ring, yeah, and all you're doing is moving, and you're not allowed to throw one single punch, and all you do is moving, step, you're in front of the mirror, and all you're doing is you're throwing a jab, and you're throwing a jab really slowly, right? Just slow motion, throwing it really slow motion. As soon as you're throwing it, you pause, you have to adjust, and then you bring it back, and then you got to adjust, and then you do that. And when you do that for an hour, it's like the most jarring thing sometimes. But it's a form of meditation as well, which is good, right? Because you're sticking at something, focused on something, and you're going to grow those neural pathways in that certain something. Yeah. But then remember this as well: if you grow the neural pathways for the positive, you can grow it for the negative, and you probably have grown some for the negative. We all have, all of us. Nobody is exempt from this. But some people have done harder or more work on that sort of issue, and then what a lot of you guys would have done. Why is that? Listen to the audio and it will explain to you why. It's a lot of it's upbringing. It's who you're with and who you mixed with and stuff like that, you know. So we typically, a lot of times, it's based that we're in creation. We've got to take responsibility for everything that we do. Same with your trading or anything else that you do. You're always taking your own responsibility for anything, whatever it be that you're actually involved in. But with this, I think to have listened to so many different people and then to listen to this guy and be like, wait a minute, this stuff's actually very good. Actually, this guy's shit hot and on point. I like what he's saying, it resonates and it makes sense. Yeah, it's not wishy-washy. It's not fairy-airy. It's actually to the point how you want something explained. You know, it's like, look, when I was back in the day speaking to some traders, it was like jarring to an extent whereby everything was so vague. Right? Yeah, very deep and authentic, isn't it, Patrick? Sometimes I speak to traders. Sometimes I get so vague, and I'd be like, you know, I'd ask them a question about something, and the answer was one that basically said, well, you know, it could be either or. You pick, right? And so I know that sometimes these things happen. They become jarring because it's like, no, I just want to understand, and no, just give it to me so I can go do it and implement and stuff like that. But it's not always like that. So the way that he delivers it, I think you guys can get so much benefit. I'm going to encourage you to, as soon as we finish this, to start listening to it. Now, I kind of thought to myself a little bit, am I going to listen to the whole thing? I'm not being able to put it down. That's fact. I've not been able to put it down. It's been at it constantly. I thought, wow, this is good stuff. I really like it. You know, he really explains it really well. So watch that. I'll send it to you. We won't go into creationism and stuff like that, and Adam and Eve and that stuff at this moment in time here. But do watch that, yeah. Most of you have seen The Secret. Anyway, most people have seen The Secret. But don't be discouraged if you looked at The Secret. Because when he first started talking about, when he got into thoughts, speaking about thoughts and energy and stuff like that, a bit of me thought, I was going to go down this route, is it? And I just imagined he was going to be the same as everybody else, but he wasn't. It was so refreshing, you know. And it's like there's a saying in Hermeticism where it says, when it is a student are ready to listen, in comes a teacher to fill them with wisdom. I like that saying. I thought, yeah, it's true. I've listened to CD8 a couple of times as well, Patrick. I want to go back over and listen to the whole thing again and again. in one straight thing. But yeah, it is, isn't it? It's amazing, right? And he talks about some things I talk about as well with diet and stuff like that. And in secret, and all that, they don't teach about none of that kind of stuff. What they say to you things like, so one of the things he says is sweeteners. Sweeteners, avoid sweeteners like the plague, right? Because they dampen your ability to lift your vibration, right? I mean, who would have known it? Yeah, I mean, we know that stuff's not good for you, a lot more so now than ever before, right? But I mean, just think about that for a second. You know, I mean, like, I talk about diet quite a bit, and a lot of people kind of ignore me a little bit when I say it and I say things, and you know, and I know when people, like, if you guys watch what I eat, I like eating vegetables and fruits. That's me, yeah. And I try to avoid red meat and stuff like that, right? But I've done research into it, and I know a lot of people look at it like, well, whatever. And then someone gets a health issue, and it's all of a sudden it's like, okay, I've got to look into my diet now. I've had a health issue. I've had a warning from the doctor. This could mess me up. I could die. I need to do something about it. So people need to get motivated, typically, generally, to do something or action something and so forth. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think you need to have to go through some kind of like messed up situation to do that, to be there. I don't think so. I think actually you can start creating good habits from now because it's easier too. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. And one tip that he said that's really good. He said, like, you know, look, wherever you're at right now, you need to start telling yourself and speaking as whatever it is and how bad it is. Doesn't mean that you can dismiss it and say, oh no, it's not bad, everything's great. If things are bad, you can say, I'm in a situation right now, but it's getting better. Things are improving. You know, doors are opening up for me. The reason why I'm feeling this is so I can get to where I need to be. Because sometimes it's like that. They say the Lord works in mysterious ways. It gives great examples and stuff. This isn't a lesson about law of attraction and stuff, and the secret and things like that. It's I just know how good it is, and it's just like sometimes you find something that's really good, nobody shares it and stuff like that. So I want to share this with you guys, so you guys have this, and you guys can get the same kind of results as well. Start seeing some good results. You guys are doing well as well. I'm hearing a lot of good stuff from you guys, in terms of your results, which is good, right? Which is really satisfying to hear as well. You know. So that's another thing. Yeah. Let's quickly look at the set an alarm every hour, check your emotional intelligence at that moment in time. Yeah, that's good. That is, Patrick. And actually, you know, when you say set an alarm every hour, what you want is you want to get, you know, on your phone, everybody. If you go to, whether you're on iPhone, Android, whatever, if you go to your app store, search for a boxing ring timer. Yeah. Search for a boxing ring timer. I'll write it here for you. All right. A boxing round timer, round timer. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly how it's going to come up, but that's what it is, yeah. Because what that does is it go offers, you can have it how you want, right? So typical boxing round is 3 minutes, 1 minute rest, but you can change it to yourself because it's for sports circuits and stuff like that, circuit training and stuff. So it goes for like, you can have it go for like 30 minutes and then beep 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 beep. Beep, 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 to give you an alert and stuff like that. But that's a very good idea, set an alarm. Another one is you can wear a trinket or a bracelet and stuff like that. That helps as well. These are good things as well, as a reminder, but typically we don't always remember on that. But when you get an alarm and it comes in every hour or so, every half hour, whatever, and it kind of like just gives you a little nudge. That's just what you're saying is like, now I'm going to try and mold my mind because everything is mental. And if you guys want to go a bit deeper, yeah, later on you can look up the 7 Hermetic Principles and look into that. If you look at the 7 Hermetic Principles, it tells you that the first thing is the mental and everything is about the mind as well. And that's how we, you know, I understand when you say like, oh, but you know, Hermetic Principles, yeah, of course. 7 Hermetic Principles, yeah, that's what it is. It's Hermes Trismegistus gave it to the 3 initiates, and the 3 initiates put it down in the Kabbalion, yeah. So you want to look in the Kabbalion. I'll spell that as well for you guys. Yeah, Kabbalion is spelled with a K, capital K, sorry. And this comes from Egypt, just so you know, it comes from Egypt. Okay, so just think back about the different what is it we're talking about? You know, the different civilizations that were around before and that kind of thing. So you know, there was first it was the Egyptians, wasn't it, and the Greeks, and then the Romans and so forth, and then obviously now we've got Christians and all that kind of stuff going on, and the Muslims. And the Muslims are around for a long time as well. But the Kabbalion, I don't expect you to read the Kabbalion if we understand it. But the principles are there, you know, and the principles are there, and also the it will tie in with what you know from there. So I'm not saying don't do this, don't go and listen to 3 or 4 different things at the same time. So just one initially, yeah. So the Kabbalion is quite straightforward and to the point, and quite quick. And the 7 Hermetic Principles are really simple, but they make logical sense, and you can make sense of anything. You know, mental, everything is mind. Law of rhythm, you know, everything that goes up must come down, and vice versa. So there's always constant change. The law of vibration states that everything is vibration, and we're talking about thousands of years ago. You know, the secret wasn't wrong when they said I found the greatest secret ever discovered. Earl Nightingale wrote and recorded an audio CD called The Strangest Secret, about the same thing, you know. Now, Napoleon Hill wrote also the 16 Laws of Success. Now, what's his name? Because some of you guys, your results are getting better, but it's your mindset. There's something about some of you when I speak to you, I can tell from your mindset things that you reply to me with. That I know if you're getting these kind of results, what you're getting is mindset results. These are, yeah, it's your mindset. I'm not saying that you guys have changed your mind in the time that you've been here. You know, it's just you're being constantly on the same thing. Typically, do you understand me? And you're responsible. You take responsibility. It's another key thing: is responsibility, taking responsibility. So you'll see these things all translate to the same sort of thing. Yeah, exactly the same thing, right? So it's always in life. There's a doing that needs to be done. Same thing. You know, it's like if you want to make money trading, you do have to trade as well. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, same thing, right? Just want to get Forex calendar up and just bring that up and have a look quickly what's going on there. So we know this morning we had good news coming out. Anybody trade these? I bet you probably all did, you guys. But then 3:30 crude oil, and then we've got FOMC at 7 o'clock as well. Anybody trading at 7 p.m., yeah, US dollar should do very well because of that. So some of you guys, I know some of you, I don't think that you'll get to trade that, Patrick, because I don't think that you get home in time for that. I'm not sure. But those of you that do look for opportunities in the evening, it's high impact news events. When they happen, you want to take advantage of them. It's a really good idea to do. Take advantage of them. So dollar CAD, and then you got later on this evening at 7 p.m. you got euro dollar and dollar yen. You could trade dollar CAD as well. Something wrong with that. Dollar yen, euro dollar is what I typically would go for. They're moved more by the dollar more. In some ways, dollar reliant in that way. Yeah. Can vary slightly, but that's so it's as general. Yeah. So that's good as well. Thursday, Carney speaking twice. Looking for some good things to happen there. With Carney speaking. If you have a look here in the morning, 9 o'clock he's speaking. Yeah. Here we are, Thursday. And we've got some other news coming out at 9:30. We've got sterling retail sales, which probably come out better than expected, to be honest with you. For some reason, I have that feeling, but we'll see tomorrow. It's expected to come out better than expected as well, actually. So I didn't see that beforehand. You got ECB monetary policy meeting accounts. That could be quite interesting. I'm expecting some negativity out of that. And then we've got Carney speaking again. Now, with Carney speaking and stuff, this is all about tone. Yeah, we don't care. We don't care if he's going to say good things or bad things. If the market moves, we've got some trading opportunities. And then Friday should be good as well. You know, 9:30, 1:30, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock will be very interesting. Pound dollar should be in and out of that, and you guys should be cleaning up. So maybe what we'll do, I'll have to see what my schedule's like, if I can do one at 2:20 tomorrow. Got to try and work that out. How we're going to do that. But we've got to work something out in that way. Because that would be a good trading opportunity for you guys, you know. Actually. So we've got that coming up as well. Yeah, so some interesting things. going on in terms of like news coming out. We need news to come out. News is important, yeah, as well. It's not we can't trade without news. See, we trade in the most volatile periods for the currencies we trade when our desks are open, London, Europe, and the US. But at the same time, when there's news coming out and it's high impact, it just adds to it. So that's even better as well. Yeah. So we've got that. To find you guys the link. Oh, I know where the link is. It's in my WhatsApp. So I can forward you guys all the link, yeah, to that as well. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want me to cover specifically, or you are just all good right now? Some of you might be sitting there just being like, okay, we've heard enough, mate. Send us the link and let's listen. Some of you will listen, some of you won't. It's completely up to you what it is that you do and stuff. Look at that. Isn't that a double bottom? I don't know if you guys ever trade double bottoms, but that there's your double bottom, isn't it? I'll show you. I don't specifically trade double bottoms, but you know what I do is I do like to keep an eye on patterns that people look to trade. That there clearly is a double bottom playing out. You see, so. Oh shit! I did get a message I was supposed to reply to actually that I completely forgot because of the live room and stuff like that. Okay, coolio. So, yes, of course, I'm going to send it to you all, you guys. I'm going to send you guys in the group. I'm going to send you guys the CDs, so you can download the whole actual CDs and the workbook as well. Yeah. So have a look at that. There's your double bottom, and the distance that this thing should travel should be from here to here, according to the rules of this particular trading pattern. You can see if that will play out there. And what it should do, should hit the top of the band and sell off again. So that's where you should be looking to get in on this dollar yen trade. That's what I'd be looking to do. So I'd be looking to have my sell limit. So jarring every time it does that, I don't know why. I'd be looking to have my sell limit just here. So why would I look to have my sell limit just here? Let me tell you why, so you just understand what I'm looking to do. So I'm expecting this market to keep pushing up a bit more because of the double bottom pattern. Yeah, I'm looking to take it at the band. So right now I've put an order in. I'll tell you what my order is. 110 spot 047. Yeah, so I have my order in here. I'm expecting the market to drive in to collect this and then sell off again, which is going to be in line with the longer term 15-minute trend. Yeah, as you guys can see, it's falling. We want it to come back up somewhere to collect. Now this is a 15 minutes, so let me just do this to have a look, because it looks like there's a gap just there. No, it's not. Okay, cool. It does look like a gap, doesn't it? It's where this crosses over. That's what it is. So we'll see what happens with that. If that thing continues to push up. If it doesn't, it fails and continues falling back down. That's fine as well. But we'll see how that one plans out. And then we can see what the other currencies are doing. At the moment, I'm not expecting the most volatility just yet. The markets need to get prepared for some kind of breakout as well. That's what it's looking for. So if I did that, bought the US template. Yeah, so what is that particular asset class there? Euro dollar. What was we looking at? Dollar yen. We'll come to dollar yen in a minute. Euro dollar, I'll be looking to sell that off. Now, if this thing pops to the upside, I'm selling it here because of this. So I'm going to give you guys some trades that you might want to take. These are trades that I'm taking. See, it's not advice or anything like that, but these are trades that I'm looking to take. So I'll be looking for it to come back up to this level here, and I'll be looking to sell it off. I know a lot of you say, well, what about stops and take profit and stuff like that? It all depends how you're trading. For some of you, so for example, some of you can put in, for example, 15 pips. For some of you, like Patrick, you need to put in 20 pips, mate, and you know why, yeah? Cool. So that's euro dollar. Could be set up quite nicely there. Looks all right. The cable trade I took yesterday in the room actually was quite good. It went to target, hit my 20 pips, and I got out of dodge after that and left it. So I took my profit. Don't know how many of you guys traded that with me. If you did, I didn't. Look at this one. See, this has popped up. To me now, I'd much rather sell this than look to buy it. And I could be wrong, but I'll take the sell position on this where it's at right now. You see. So I'll leave that one in place. I need to do something with this. Let me have a look. So I've got this in place right now. Right, so I'm looking for 20 on this. I'm not looking for 10. I'm looking for 20, where normally I would be. Yeah. Great. I can't see that. No, I can see it. What's that say? 40. So I'm looking for 40 on that one there. So I'm expecting this thing just to continue with the trend. Look at the trend on this 15 minutes. If we go bigger time frame, then you're going to probably see something different. But at the moment, in comparison what this is doing, and this here, excuse me, drop, base, rally, rally, base, drop. That's my level there. So I'm looking for. So I expect this thing's going to continue with what it should be doing. Anyway, so let me just do this. Not on this one. On this one. Dollar Swiss. USDJPY. Cool. Okay, perfect. Got that in place. Oh, cool. I can't move this. What it is I'm moving these. You know, it's got this chat box and stuff on here. I'm moving it to the side so I can see. Because it keeps getting in the way for some reason. So that there should get 20 pips there, and that's still within that range of of the open, right? Where are we looking here? Dollar Swiss. So we'll see how that performs. For some reason, Dollar Swiss hasn't done what I expected. Right, okay, cool. We'll come back to that. And then we'll have a look. No, wrong chart, sorry. My bad. This is the chart here I'm looking for. Dollar, pound dollar we haven't looked at, right? Pound dollar. So look, pound dollar is a similar thing. I want pound dollar to come back here for it to get me in. That's what I'm looking for. Is up here, yeah? So change these settings here. Right, so on the open, I'm gonna 1530 and this open here. Put that in place. Pound dollar, perfect. Okay, coolio. DBD, drop, base, drop. Yeah. So you start seeing these patterns that come up all over the place, don't they? These patterns. So dollar yen now, right? So dollar, no, what I picked that chart for dollar yen. My gosh, leave that on pound dollar. And what I need to do is go to dollar yen and see dollar yen. I'm sure I had this chart set up on the open. Here we go. It's got to be it. No, it's not the one. Moving it across, moving it across, moving it across. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is the dollar yen original chart that we was looking at, wasn't it? Do you remember that? So what we need to see is the open on dollar yen. See the open here? So that's what I'm looking for. That retrace there to hit here and sell off. Now this thing could just fall. I could be wrong, and this thing could just fall. So what do I do if it just falls? Doesn't matter. I'd still take breakout. Yeah. But at this moment in time, yeah, what I'm doing is I'm saying, at this moment in time, I'm saying, okay, well, it's fine. I'm looking for this entry up here, but if it doesn't do that and it just tanks, I'll still take my profit on this anyway. If it comes up to here and triggers, then I'll remove this one. This is the trade that I want. But it puts you in a much more better situation to take more profits out of the markets. Does that make sense? And then we look at dollar CAD, see what that's doing. Now, dollar CAD, clearly this is pushing up. If you're going to be looking to buy this, it's a 22 pip range. So what you'd be looking to do is take it up here and put your buy stop in above it. And then Aussie dollar. By the way, Aussie dollar, I don't know if you guys traded it this morning. Let's have a look at what it did this morning on the London Open. Right, okay. So actually there wasn't much of a massive move, was there? Yeah, it is rubbish, isn't it? I know. That was a bit of crappy news, wasn't it? So Aussie's probably looking for something. You got out break even. Good for you. Yeah, and always protect the position. No matter what the position is, always protect the position wherever it's going to be. Don't just sit there and let it. You know, if you get the opportunity to protect it. If you got to do something else, you do something else. Manage it a different way. But that's what you want to be doing. Yeah, so you still want to be managing the positions anyway, no matter what. So half one, we should start seeing some volatility and moves in the markets. We'll see how dollar Swiss plays out. Should be alright, that one there. And then obviously it broke out earlier, as we can see. Oh, did it? No, I don't think I think we're seeing London open on that one. Let's go to US, make sure. Don't want to make any sense. Yeah, so it's the US. So you see it's broke to the upside to here. Volatility, but we're looking for a move here based on the rally base drop that we've seen here. Yeah. Right, cool. So look, it's 3:30 at the moment. We've got to wait for some market movement. So I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to cover, but if there isn't, what I'll do, we'll wrap it up here, and I'll get you guys the CD sent out. Yeah. Because it's not just about sitting in the market pressing the button. We've got to work on mindset as well. But a lot of it you've got to do yourself, unfortunately, because it's an internal battle for all of us. You know, we all have it. But the more you do it, the more you'll get to recognize when it's coming up and how you can deal with it and stuff like that. You know, how you can combat it. Do you see what I mean? Because that's going to be key. It's going to be important as well. It's like, you know, how you're going to deal with it when you. Sometimes what will happen is, you know, you can have great mindset, and then something just jars you and throws you off, right? So then you need a strategy to deal with that. That's all it is. Like for most things, yeah. Also, here's the thing, right? Do you guys, really quickly, just before we wrap up, do you guys play chess? Anyone play chess in the room? Anyone? Chess? Any chess games here? Chess players? I'll tell you that as a no. At the moment, you guys don't play chess, no? But I love chess. When you're a child, you should take it back up, man. I played it when I was a child as well. And there's certain points where you stop playing it because not everybody plays chess. That's the thing. Most people play cards and dominoes and stuff. But chess is a really good game, and you can get games online that you can play. I tell you why it's good. Like what I like about chess is you know, every time when you're playing chess, you know, it's like when you have to take some kind of play, right? So whatever it is that you're playing, this thing lets me write. If you're playing a game of chess and you say, "Oh, like, I'm playing this game of chess," and I'm going to move, for example, I'm going to open up the game and I'm going to move one of my pawns. Oh, bloody hell! Why does it keep disappearing? Do you see that? There's a show called Friday Night Dinner. It's really funny. It's about It's about this Jewish family that have dinner every Friday night, and the two boys come around and stuff like that. It's hilarious. Every time something happens, yeah, that's wrong. It's like the dad in the family is just like, "Oh, bloody hell, shit on it, bloody shit on it." And it's just the way he says it is funny. And it's just, I thought that just now when the thing wouldn't draw. "Oh, bloody shit on it." Right, so let me get this up so we can draw here. I can draw this for you quickly. Here we go. Okay, cool. Alright, so I want you to just imagine you're playing a chess game, right? Now, I'm sure you guys understand in chess you've got your pawns, isn't it? Yeah, so you've got your pawns going across, isn't it? You guys know that? And then, now, as well as your pawns, it's like you'll have, for example, your queen behind one pawn, you'll have your king behind another pawn, you'll have like your bishop, your knight, and then you'll have your castle, your rook. And then you have the same thing here. Bishop, knight, castle, or rook as some people call it. And so it's a strategy game. It's like based upon war, isn't it? Yeah. And you go out to war, and then you've got the opposing team on the other side, yeah? Battle line is drawn, and then you take your move and you go first. Then you play your move up here, yeah? Okay. But, you know, I mean, if you look at other games, and I think chess kind of is quite unique in this way, but it's not unique completely, but to me in this way it's a bit unique, right? So I play a game of chess and I think, okay, I'm going to open up here. If I open up here, why do I open up with this here? Of all the things I could move, why am I moving this specific pawn out? Right? So I need to think that, but also my opponent needs to think that. So I need to think, okay, what am I looking to do? If you move this up here, right? Because the reason why I try to speak to you guys in this way, just understand me a little bit, is because I think things are so vague. Yeah, they're so vague. They're put out there in such a way that's so vague that it's almost like, you know, but you could mean anything. So if I take what you say, it could mean anything. It could mean this or that almost. So shit, I don't know what to do now. Now I'm confused.com. Yeah. Thanks for that. Because most people are really vague when they're teaching. They're not specific. They don't break it down. They point to one side and say, hey, look. Let me just explain this and break it down bit by bit so you know exactly, right? So you're there playing a game of chess and you make this move. And I remember this guy saying to me one time, he was like an options trader. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, I've got a mate of mine. I taught him how to trade. And he's a chess player. It's what he does. He plays chess, right? So he just took the same concept, you know, and instead of like losing pieces, he loses so instead of protecting his pieces, he doesn't lose any pieces, he protects his money, right? And at the time I thought about it. Can't remember what age I was, but I thought about it. I thought, oh, that sounds really good. It makes sense. And I was like, I better get back and play chess again. And then I'll adapt to the markets and make a lot of money. Right? Now, when I look back at what the guy said, I think, you know what a bullshitter. Might not be a complete bullshit, but I thought a lot of it was bullshit what he said. I started realizing that a lot of what these people are saying it is bullshit. It's a kind of portraying the image. Look how successful and rich I am. And yeah, well, I've done this and I've done. It's all. Most of the stories and tales are allegories. It didn't exist. Not true. People tell stories about people that didn't exist. And the guy breaks this down in the video, the audios that I'm going to send you, by the way. There's audiobooks. So you will hear that when he tells you, everybody that you hear from here has done what they said. Yeah, they've done what they said in the tin. This is not I've written a book about getting wealthy, take these concepts and apply it, but I've never made money. A lot of people do that. Trading's the same thing. Oh, I don't know how to trade, but I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. But hey, here to take this and do it and run with it and so forth. And you know, no, it's not how it works, right? So back to, do you know what I've got to do actually here? What did I forget to do? I'm not going to go break even just yet. There's something I want to do. Because this is dollar Swiss, isn't it? I need to find this dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss. I forgot. Let me just do this quickly. Well, I'm not watching it. I'm just going to put a few steps in place. Now, I know that it's 3 pips up right now, and a lot of times we're going to trade it straight away to break even. I'm not just going to move it straight away to break even. It doesn't mean that I necessarily want you guys to mimic everything I do. You know, I know what risks I'm taking when I'm doing this, and I've been doing it for a lot longer than most of you as well. So that's not what I'm trying to do with this. So I'm not saying don't you go to break even at this point. You should. At this minute here, I've just not gone to break even. What I want, as I'm looking at the move here, I want a bit of a bigger move. I want to see this at least come down to here. Right, which is the 20 MA, which is the target. I want it to come down to here first of all and do something, yeah? That's why I'm doing that, on this specific strategy, yeah? Cool. So let's go back to where he was at, yeah? with this chess game, so you guys can understand a little bit about what I'm talking about. So with a chess game now, before I can make that move, I need to ask myself the question: if I move this, what's going to happen next? Well, immediately it's going to leave this up here open to attack of its own back. But more than likely, my opponent is probably going to move his pawn up as well to meet my pawn head on, or he's going to look to move one of the two here. Doesn't mean he's going to do this, right? So what I'm saying to you, my opponent. So before I can move this pawn, I've got to go through this in my mind, yeah, right? So, so it's like this, right? So goes up to here. I'm going to get in here. I'm going to open this up. So now, show my moves in green. So look, I can open up so my bishop can move out. My bishop's diagonal mover. My queen can also move out as well. My queen's a diagonal mover. That's what I'm opening up from space there. I'm moving this up here. My next move could well be one of these two here to protect, because he can't just take me just like that. He's going to move one of these three pieces. Now I've got to go through my mind the scenario. If he moves here, what's he looking to do? Well, if he takes this option here, right, more than likely he's meeting me head on. He's trying to suss out what I'm doing. He's going, I want to go head on with you at the moment. I want to open up, move my pieces out. You want to open, move your pieces out. I want to create some room as well so I can get my... And you remember this, what the queen is. The queen is your big player, yeah? She's your heavy hitter, yeah, out of all of them. But, you know, these others are effective as well in their own ways, right? These are soldiers. Sold to die. Soldier comes from the word, how we get the word soldier, by the way, is... your pawns are soldiers. Soldier is sold to die. If you say these things really quickly, sold to die really, really quickly, you probably hear that concept of soldier, sold to die, soldier, yeah? So these are sold to die. These are going to die anyway. You know that already, right? But you know you're looking to play this move, but you can't play this move without thinking about what he's doing first. That's how many steps ahead you got to start thinking. And then you got to ask yourself, so if he does this, I'm going to do X. Or if he does this, I'm going to do that. Or if he does this, I'm going to do that. Or let's say that he moves his knight out and puts it here, then I'm going to do this. Or if he does that, I can stick to my original game plan and stuff. So that's how it is. You're constantly thinking in that way, yeah? So you're kind of doing the same thing here, but there's only a limit to what you can do now, right? There's a limit to what you can do. So there's a limit to what we can do here at this moment in time, because we pressed the button. But it is a case of, like, we want to kind of look at it in that way. It's not as in depth, but we still want to have a look at it in that way. Like, okay, here's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to trade in volatility to break out. But if the market breaks out, what can I do? So let's switch this to here. Yeah, okay. So here it is. It breaks out. Normally you take it with the breakout, don't you? Yeah. But it's that thing. You look at the market like it's your opponent. Sometimes it's not, but just in some ways, just slightly. Yeah. So you say, okay, well, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to sell this. I'm looking to set it up here at what I consider to be an order level. I think this order's going to be sitting here, so I think it's going to come up here, collect the orders, and then rally off again. That's what I'm thinking in my mind, what I'm expecting. So I'm planning it out. But at the same time, I'm kind of planning out something else. What's my plan now? I'm planning out what's my next move after this. And what if it goes wrong? And how am I going to manage this? How am I going to handle this? And so forth. Now, as you guys can see, I've decided to hedge if it goes wrong. Yeah? That's what I've decided to do. Not because I necessarily think, oh yeah, it's definitely going to need to do that, but it's just because at this moment in time I'm thinking, if it does go against me, I can hedge. Yeah, it's not a problem. That's going to be my strategy to get out. I know what my margin is and how I can manage these trades and stuff like that, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, but that's what I'm looking to do. Yeah, but where I'm seeing this now 7 pip drop, at this point here, I'm saying, okay, well in this case then, it'll be silly of me not to move my stop now. Yeah, so I move it down to here. I've locked in what, 1 pip. Or 1.6 or something. Can't lose now, yeah? Can leave that in place as it is. It doesn't matter. See what it's going to do. I'm looking for a bigger move than this. All right, now, I know the market's not my enemy. It's not my opponent. I'm not trading against the market per se. I'm trading against the players within that market. But who are the players within that market? You start thinking about them, and how do you think about them? Then you start working out, like, what do they need to do? And this is easier than chess, by the way, guys. It's easier to place a winning trade than it is to play a winning game in chess. I play chess, I know. And when I play chess, you know, and sometimes, and I know we've run over just a little bit, but I want you guys to hear this. Sometimes when you're playing chess, and I found this, sometimes you're on form, and other times you're not so much. Yeah, and sometimes players play one way, and sometimes they don't play the other way, and so forth and stuff like that. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. Right, so um, so at this point here now, I could be watching this. Now, this is the thing. You know, in a chess game, when you're watching a chess game and the guy makes a move and you start adjusting there and then, but with the markets, it's a bit different than that. Yeah. So I want you guys to get the understanding. That's why I'm doing this. Yeah. So I could be looking and saying, "Oh shit, look at that! I've got a hammer. Hammer's a reversal pattern." And so forth. It's going to come back up. It's going to do this. It's going to do that, and all kinds of things. But I'm not sitting there thinking that, right? Because it hasn't finished yet, hasn't closed. You see where it's different? You need the full information. It has to close. So if I look here and see that I'm on a 15-minute time frame, well, I mean, this hasn't closed yet, so it doesn't tell me that. At the moment, all it says is that currently, see where it goes green? When it goes green, it just says to me that it's, so it could be a case of like, yeah, I could possibly be wrong in the sense where now what it could have done is it could have broken, popped back to test the level, and then it could go off again. But you don't know what's going to happen next. So we have to trade it in accordance with what we're given. But at the same time, we need it to play out and give us the information that we need, right? Before we can make any kind of decisions. We can't make a decision based on just the minimum information, yeah? So, and then if I said, right, I'm going to close it out now, it's going back up. Let me close it out now and bank that 40 quid rather than just bank 20 quid or whatever it is. I could say that, yeah? But I'm not. Why am I not saying that? Right? So what I'm doing is I'm not being reactive to every movement the market makes. Do you understand me? Now, let's look at a game of chess. Same concept. In a chess game, here you are, you're playing, you've made your moves, and so forth is his move. And he hasn't made a move yet, but his hand has gone to, say, one of the pieces. Yeah, this is his hand. Guessed it, he's a monster or a dog or something. But that's his hand. He's gone to one of the pieces and he's looked at one of his pieces and he's put his hand on his bishop, right? Touched his bishop. Yeah. Right. Sound a bit weird, didn't it? So he's put his hand on his bishop and he hasn't moved it, but obviously he's thinking about it and contemplating it. Now you react to what he's done and set your plan up on the back of that. Well, that's a bit like now reacting to the markets, yeah? All right. Now, if this thing just stops me out, I could look at it and say, oh man, I missed out on 40 quid. Being overreactive. But doing that in this instant might make you profitable, but still makes you wrong. And that's what I want you to understand. Because even if I close it out now and I make that profit, I'm still wrong, yeah, because I've reacted to information that wasn't full. Let's say I close out here, and then all of a sudden this thing tanks. All I've done is I've simply reacted to every single movement. And that's why I'll say if you trade in 15 minutes, you wait for 15 minutes to close. If you trade in 5 minutes, you wait for 5 minutes to close, and so forth. Don't get me wrong, when I'm trading the bands, I don't wait for it to close. Sometimes I go in there and then pin where the market's at. I put orders in these ones, but this one I didn't. I just went in straight away live because of where it was at, you see. So that's the difference, right? But you made the decision, and once I made the decision, I wasn't worried because I had things in place. Yeah, so I covered my bases of what I want to do. I know where I'm at, where I'm going with it. I know what the worst case scenario is, and I'm cool with that. Yeah. So I've done that. So if I've accepted that, I can go on the back of it and keep trading like it, like this. So what I'm doing is I'm just constantly in the practice of following whatever rules I've got in place or whatever strategy I've got in place. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So I've protected the account now. I don't need to worry. What for? What's the worst case scenario that's going to happen? I'm going to make 20 quid or something like that. 20, 25 quid or something I'll make. Best case scenario, it comes down, it hits my take profit here, and I make what? I make 300. Right? Now, I can't make this market move any differently now. Do you understand me? Yeah, what's in place now is what's in place now. How it's going to play out is how it's going to play out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with it, and then I can adjust each or judge each thing based upon the candle patterns I'm seeing. So if all of a sudden now I saw this thing drop to here, and then I saw this thing pull back up to here, and then I watched it do this again, at that point then I'm going to think, hey, that's a good place to have my stop loss below the previous high and so forth. Yeah. Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah, I trust it makes sense to all you guys, and it hasn't left you confused or anything. Obviously, if you've got any questions about this and you don't necessarily want to address it here in the live room, and I know we have this kind of nature, a lot of us, about not putting a hand up and stuff like that, not asking a stupid question and stuff like that and so forth. It's always better to ask a stupid question than make a stupid mistake as well. Something you don't understand, to ask for clarity is always good. Again, you know, if you don't want to ask here, you can always call me and just say, look, listen, can I go through some stuff with you? I've got some questions and stuff like that as well. That's a really good thing to do as well. So anyway, look, happy trading, guys. Yeah. I hope this is good for you guys. Expect to get to see that CD, the link to that CD page where you can go in and just get it and download it. You can download it straight from the web browser as well. Yeah. We'll wrap it up at that. And then what we'll do is, if you guys, by the way, at any point have any topics that you do want to go over, then obviously, by all means, if you post it to me, even personally, or you post it in the group and think like, you know, I wouldn't mind knowing a bit more about this, and you can see what people's feedback as well, and people like, yeah, me too, then we can use that as a subject as well for you guys, because this is about you guys, not about us. Yeah. All right, cool, perfect. So we'll wrap up there. I'll speak to some of you guys in the day. Some of you I'll speak to tomorrow. Listen, have a good day today. Happy trading, make loads of money, and loads of rebate, and we'll speak soon. All right, thanks for being here, guys. Speak soon. Bye now.